guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Meek again. So I have the videos that you guys love so much. I always get great feedback whenever I do my dragging videos. So I have got some great dragging stories for you today. It is a European and US dragging session. I don't know why these brands, and I have to tell you, like, there's certain brands I never feature here. I've tried to find like messy Cartier reviews and they don't exist. Like, when Cartier makes a mistake, they go and repair it and they like apologize in the review, like, hello, thank you for leaving this review with us, like, we're sorry that you didn't have a good experience with us and stuff. But I'm just pulling up the stories for today. We have so many things that we need to talk about, so yeah, I cannot wait to talk about them with you. So let me show you. Let's get started. So the first story is from I just got out of the way. The first story, where's the first story from? Is it from Beverly Hills or not? Hold on a second. Okay, so the first story is from the Chanel boutique in Beverly Hills, Big C, Beverly Hills. This is a very long review, and FYI, I find most of these dragging reviews from Yelp and Google reviews as well, but I always take out like identifying info. So it's really, really long. So I'll just summarize a few bits and then I'll read out a few bits. So she says, went to the boutique last week without knowing anyone, worked only with an SA at the temporary closed location, but I didn't think of it as a big deal. Waited 10 to 15 minutes for an SA named XYZ, I won't say the person's name. She was kind and helpful, I thought. After telling her what I was looking for and decided to get it, she brought out a beautiful medium classic caviar and silver hardware that she told me was the last one. I was extremely excited and couldn't hold my joy at that point. Once I get home and unboxing it, I realized the bag was made in Italy. Sure, there's nothing wrong with the Chanel handbag made in Italy, but my heart was set to the one made in France, especially the iconic classic flag. I reached out to another SA to see if I can place an order for one made in France, and I was lucky she got one in stock. That's what she says here. I received the bag a few days later, only to find out it had big bubble pockets inside. That's a big no. Things went wrong here when I went back to the boutique and tried to explain why I was exchanging the bags. The first one, nothing was wrong, but it was made in Italy. The second one was made in France, okay? But it had bubble pockets in the bottom. The SA today, she puts an initial for the SA's name, I won't say that, wasn't nice, accompanied with another not very nice SA who didn't seem to try and be helpful, repeatedly kept asking, so what's wrong with the bag again? Ah, that's funny, you're funny, okay? I had to explain the situation and my preferences until she agreed to bring me another one made in France, but then again, the bubble pockets. She suggested to just return for a full refund. I decided to get a zippy coin purse as I was planning to use it with a classic flap instead of leaving without getting anything. But once I was done with all the transaction, the SA with this specific initial handed me a box with the receipt only. I had to ask for a bag. Wait, what? All I wanted to say is their products cost so much money because it's Big C. There shouldn't be flaws. Made in Italy wasn't the choice I prefer. The bubble pockets made the bag less than perfect. They should know that regardless of the issue, they should be normal. It's better to be nice, but just don't be rude. Bonus, my friend was like, that was Chanel right after we left. Okay, there are a lot of things to unpack in this review. First of all, the client is wrong. Sorry, she's wrong. She's bang out of order, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not clear from the review that she requested a made in France bag. I know that made in France is like important for some people. For some reason, made in France is important for me when it pertains to Louis Vuitton, but I don't really care for any other brand, to be honest. I know that a lot of people want made in France for Big C, and I completely respect that, but if made in France is so important to you, you should have said that when you bought the flap from the first SA. That you were given one that said made in Italy. Now, I was under the impression that all of the classics were made in France and that all the other bags were not made in France, like were made in other places. Italy, to me, that's still fabulous, that's still fantastic, but this particular client didn't think it was. I'm sorry, but I think it's a bit dramatic to be like, okay, well, I'm returning it because it's not made in France. You're then given another bag, and then you find a flaw with that bag. You've already returned the same bag twice. So now in the system, all they can see is return, return. Okay, depending on whatever your standing is at the boutique, it doesn't really sound like she necessarily had like a big standing at this particular boutique. No wonder she met resistance, when she went into the boutique and was dealing with the SAs, because they're like, well, what's wrong again now with the bubble pocket thing? It's hard to kind of judge that because we haven't seen a picture of the bag. I'm in a ton of Facebook groups and people literally post a picture and there's nothing there. Whether it's big LV, even big H, honey, people will post something and be like, hey guys, do you see this mark? There's nothing there. It is crickets, okay? Nothing. And yet people are whinging and moaning about it. So don't get me wrong, if it's defective, of course you should return it. There's no shadow of a doubt. If an item is defective, it should be returned, and I support that. I don't support you being a bit dramatic and being like, oh, I'm returning it because it's made in Italy, especially if you didn't tell the SA that you wanted a made in France bag. Those medium caviar classics go fast. They're gonna, and one reason here why they said that they think that the SA should, they said here they think that the client should return the item and just get a refund is so that they can get the bag back so they can go and sell it to someone else who they know won't be as fussy and nitpicky. I'm weird about nitpicky things. I know a lot of you are like, oh, Chanel's annoying, Chanel's quality, Chanel this. Big C has let you know, honey, that her bags are toys. Okay, they're toys for you to play with, they're toys for you to have a laugh with, and then you wait for your next toy in the next collection that comes, in the next 3 months. They are toys. That is it. And once you agree that they are like these high-end Barbie dolls, then like Chanel bags are literally high-end Barbie and Ken dolls at this point. Like Mattel and Big C should just do a collab because they have so much in common. I think that clients like this are really, really, really tough to deal with. When I used to have my beauty boutique, we had a standalone boutique. We still have an e-commerce business. We do tons of telephone orders. You get people who whinge and moan and nitpick about packaging, who whinge and moan and nitpick about the way the product looks, even if the product's fine. We haven't seen the product, so we can't judge whether she's whinging and moaning. But based on the way she's writing her review, she's whinging and moaning about it. And I'm sorry, you're wrong. You should have told the SA you wanted a made in Italy bag, a made in France bag, I beg your pardon. You should have said that, and then hopefully you would have been given a made in France bag, and then hopefully that would have been okay. Because it's like you buy the flap, and then you don't like it. You get it exchanged, and then you don't like it. And then they're tired of you, honey, okay? The big CSAs were tired of her. They were like, look, girl, get a refund. We're done with you. Done. Because they didn't want to exchange it again, because then she's going to take it and then find something else to whinge and moan about. Sorry. Okay, that's how I feel. Tell me what you think. You know what to do. Stay fully subscribed. We have so much more we need to get through. The next story is from Big H in one of the Miami boutiques. This is also a long review, so please bear with me. 2 stars is the lowest rating I've ever given to a retail store, let alone an outpost of a luxury store. It's only saved by one SA by one employee who apologized for the others on my way out of the store, and the witty Napoleon statue on the roof. Talking about the boutique, blah, 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 how nice it is and how beautiful it looks. The trouble began at the door with a condescending screech from the manager about needing an appointment before I could come into the hallowed halls. Hello, there's no one in store, not a soul. Get your appointment book, write my name, and I'll be coming inside. Once inside, the spectacularly bad service compounded on itself. The salesperson seemed to be unsure whether to pick up obnoxious or lazy as the theme of the day, so apparently he seemed to settle on both. The conversation started badly with, do you own anything from us? With exactly that type of emphasis and intonation. The emphasis was on was on you and us, basically. I thought at first it was a joke, so looked up smiling to see the salesperson impatiently checking his wristwatch. Strangely enough, I had a business suit on, not the Julia Roberts outfit from Pretty Woman. The store just seems to subscribe to the we make it more exclusive by giving dollar store level service for no apparent reason. Here's the poetic justice part. I happen to be wearing my Apple Watch, my Apple Hermes watch, so pull back my shirt sleeve, looked at the wristwatch and said, why yes, this watch and roughly 20 of your ties. I was on the prowl for a nice belt, but you just made me realize that I've got to go goodbye. In all seriousness, Big H Corporate, if you happen to read this, my experience in this store doesn't seem to be a fluke from reading the other reviews. While I've never had bizarrely awful service like this, the experience in the Design District boutique made me walk right down the street to Gucci and buy a belt there. Blah blah blah, and then he says there's an identifiable awful service problem at this store. Okay, the review's a little bit dramatic, but a few things as well about this one. First of all, what we should be doing, and what you guys should be doing as well, is tell everyone who doesn't really know what's popping up Big H to watch my Bait series, because boo-boo, your Big H Apple Watch is not going to move the needle. It's not going to rearrange the solar system at Big H. I mean, an Hermes Apple Watch, like, don't take it the wrong way, but we went through the chat about watches, particularly from the men's portion of the business. I posted about it on my blog. You know, a Big H Apple Watch and ties and a belt. I mean, like, a Big H. I'm sorry, but it's nothing to Big H. And that's the thing that I think that a lot of us need to understand, like, when it pertains to the etiquette of shopping at these brands, is that it's really nothing for these brands. Like, okay, for you, the Big H Apple Watch is like a big deal. Big H have watches that are 14,000 euros. Big H have men's watches that are like, I don't know, they have men's watches that are like 6,000 euros as well, like the top of the line watches that are on the website, you know? So the Apple Watch, don't get me wrong, yeah, that's cool. You've got, you know, an Apple Watch, you've got ties and all of this, but they have, you know, male clients who walk in there who are spending thousands and thousands and thousands on like really pricey watches, on really pricey shirts and suits and stuff. I know you're gonna be like, okay, but he could have been, you know, he could have been doing that eventually and stuff. I know that's what you're gonna say, but at the end of the day, I mean, okay, fine, you know, you, I don't know, I just kind of feel like sometimes people don't really understand like how big these brands are and how successful these brands are. They are so incredibly successful, and of course he should be treated well. I was thinking recently, one reason why Big H, Big C, and Big LV are doing appointments right now is not just for C19. They really want to weed people out. They want to get rid of people who are window shopping at these brands. They really don't want people, you know, to window shop anymore. And I think in light of that, not having those window shoppers, they get people who are serious all the time. And don't get me wrong, you should be able to walk into Big H and buy a belt. You should be able to walk into Big H and buy something small. But I don't know if some clients are being realistic about the type of service they expect. You're gonna walk into Big H to buy a belt. You know, you're just gonna buy a belt, you're gonna leave. It's not gonna be like this big dramatic thing in terms of customer service, because it's a belt, in my opinion. Okay, I don't know how other people feel about it. You know, when I first read the review, I thought it was quite funny. I was like, okay, the person's trying to be funny, but at the end of the day, okay, you have a Big H, you know, Apple Watch, and you've got, you know, ties. Like, do you know like what a lot of men are spending in the boutique? There are people who buy like a Big H Apple Watch and a bunch of ties in like one shopping sitting, like it's nothing, you know? So I think it's just important sometimes to kind of have that sense of your wits about you when you're shopping at these brands. And don't get me wrong, he should be treated well. But at this point, luxury SAs really have a feel for which clients are going to spend money and which clients aren't. I know some of you are going to be like, okay, but he could come back next time and spend money. Well, I mean, he's being a bit dramatic over a belt, so he's probably not coming back, to be fair. Do you know what I mean? So I would love to know what you guys think about that one as well. Okay, so the next one, okay, is Big H at Rodeo Drive in California in the US. If I could give 0 stars, I would. As a repeat customer to the Rodeo location, I'm baffled at the customer service by 2 of the male managers. It was the worst experience ever. This is a really long review, but basically she goes on to say how she bought her mum some shoes, and then she goes on here to say the size was too small, and then and then she drives to, she says it was too small, and then she drives to the location to exchange the shoes, and then she's told something about the size, but they have to get the approval for the exchange from the manager. And then the manager comes and says, it's your call, as in they pick and choose what they can exchange it to whom. And then he accused us of wearing the shoe, and they couldn't help us because it had been worn. Well, I told him my mom only had tried on one pair to see if it fits. And he said, yeah, that's why we have the carpet to try on, basically telling me that my mom should have tried on the shoe at the carpet. He should have, no, saying that my mom should have tried the shoe on the carpet. It seems that the shoes were purchased online. Now I understand. Okay. And then online it didn't say in bold letters, warning, try on carpet. When I checked out, how dare he tell me what to do? It's not like everyone has carpet flooring in their homes these days. I stood there. I was confused and frustrated as a customer that shops at Big H, because the shoe wasn't worn how it arrived from the order. So how can my mom wear a shoe that's a size smaller? They had this attitude and they didn't even try to help me. They forgot to put my receipt in the back. I've shopped in many places, even worked retail, but never have I had the same company that can't help the same customer regardless of online or in-store purchase. It's the same company. Now we have an $800 shoe that can't be worn or anything because idiots employed at high-end retailers. Worst experience ever. This might be my last time shopping at Big H. And then she says, instead of me being angry over an $800 shoe that arrived this way, they're accusing me of wearing the shoe. Yeah, I mean, it's a mess. Okay, so a few things. First of all, many of you don't agree with me. I think some of this is cultural. I do think that, like with shoes, I mean, it's a little bit different if they were like ordered online, because obviously you order something online, you have to kind of guess your size. And Big H's shoes, I've heard different things from different people. Some of you have said, the Orans, fit your size. Some of you have told me, oh my God, again, that's not true. Order a size up. I wouldn't feel comfortable ordering Orans through a personal shop. I would order like Chanel trainers because I feel like I have an idea. I feel like trainers are a bit different, but shoes are different. I do think that they probably handled this badly, but I think also for these brands, a lot of the time, they kind of feel like, particularly Big H really don't like dealing with exchanges like in store. I've read many reviews where the person comes to exchange something like in the boutique 100%, and the response is like really, really cold and really, really nasty. So I would love to know what you think about this one. The jury's out on this one, because I kind of feel like you tried on the shoes at home, like your mom tried them on, they've been worn. I can kind of see where Big H are coming from, but at the same time, I can see where the client's coming from. The next dragging story is from Big C in New Bond Street in London, in the UK. The review goes, staff here are obnoxious and rude. There's also a ridiculous queue where you have to wait for over an hour. You're not allowed to look around either while you wait, and you'll only be seen if you agree to buy something on the spot. The service is quite appalling considering how much customers spend here. Seems like all the Big C stores have gone downhill recently with snooty staff and policies. Go to Big C and Harrods and be treated with more care and attention because it's different management. Okay, a few things. So Big C in London gets dragged, honey. Big C gets dragged. Like Chanel Sloane Street, Chanel Bond Street, they constantly get dragged. What struck me and that I thought was really interesting was the part here about the fact that you'll only be seen to if you agree to buy something on the spot. And this is why I was telling you guys, like the whole thing about essays right now, essays and appointments are really going to be the new trend, I think, for this year, because they're really tired of people who are just coming to look around. Now, because I used to have a retail business, I really empathize with essays and management, because there's so many people who waste time. So I want to give you a story and then we'll go back to this review super quick. I remember a while ago we had an order for a product, and it was the last time during the day where we do orders from the telephone is like 7 p.m. We don't do deliveries beyond 7 p.m. at night. And we got a request at 6:30. The order was confirmed and everything, and the delivery rider went there. And the delivery rider gets there, and then the client who was so sure that she was going to buy this item, she was so sure, she's like, yeah, I promise, I'm not a time waster, all of this. She then decides to cancel her order and says, look, I've changed my mind, I'm not going to purchase it. It was quite stressful because the delivery rider was like, no, it's really late and we've come here and now you're not buying it, now you're sending me back to the office and I'm going to look like I haven't done my job. Okay. So she cancels it. I get the call that it's cancelled. I'm like, fine, let's just move on. We'll find another client for the product tomorrow. And as luck would have it, in the morning, another client turned up and that client purchased the item. The delivery rider delivered it to her and it was fine. Then I hear from the client who cancelled the order, who claimed that, she wasn't a time waster. She was so sure. And then when the delivery rider got there, she's like, no, I changed my mind, I don't want it anymore, blah, blah, blah. Then she's like, oh, look, I'm really sorry about what happened. I feel really bad, I'm ready to buy today. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, it's already been sold. We're sold out now, and, I don't foresee a time when I'm going to be ordering inventory again. Me, as a businesswoman, I can literally tell which clients are troublesome, who is a time waster, and who's there just to waste time. Now, I know you're like, oh my God, Big C are so wrong for telling a client, are you gonna buy on the spot? I think that's not necessarily a super luxurious way of doing things, but as a business person, I completely understand why they're doing it. They're doing it because of people like this woman that we had to deal with, who allows the delivery rider, okay, to get to her house. And then all of a sudden she's like, look, I'm not gonna buy it, I've changed my mind. Why don't you let people know before then? Everyone at work was so annoyed, so upset, so angry about what had happened that day, I remember. And I was like, guys, just let it go. Tomorrow's a new day, we'll find a new client. And we did, Now, I know you might be like, well, with Chanel New Bond Street, they're a luxury brand. They should know that there are lots of people who are just coming to look around. People don't want to commit to that much money up front. And this is where we have the debate about Big C. Big C does not want you to come to her boutiques, honey, and look around like it's some sort of retail catalog, okay? Those of you in the UK, you know what I'm talking about when I say Argos, okay? They don't want you to come and treat the boutiques as if they are some sort of catalog that you just come and have a look at. They want you to come, get a beautiful luxury experience, but spend a lot of money. I think it's a bit harsh to be like, are you buying today? But I can't lie, I completely empathize with why they are saying that, and I totally understand. I've had many experiences like this in my business. We do lots of telephone orders. Even to this day, we do lots of telephone orders. And we're very clear that, if you want to make an order, make an order. If you want to ask questions, send an email or send a WhatsApp message. Don't call us to ask questions. Only call to make an order. But still, you get people who don't follow the rules. You get people who call. And my sales team are being driven absolutely mad, absolutely around the bend with these people who just constantly don't listen. So in Chanel's case, they should be dealing with clients, but they should maybe have more patience because there will always be people who are coming to window shop. But I do think if you're someone who loves shopping luxury and you enjoy luxury, one of the kind of unwritten rules of luxury shopping is, generally speaking, don't go to window shop. Only go if you're going to buy something. When it pertains to Big H, we all know in the Big H world, and if you don't know, let me tell you, you never make an appointment with your Big H SA unless you're buying something. Don't do that. If you do that, you are going to be labeled as a time waster in that boutique, and then you'll find that your SA stops being responsive and starts feeling like you just want to get attention in a boutique, so you're making appointments but you don't buy anything. Same thing for Chanel, same thing for Louis Vuitton. It's different if you make an appointment, they don't have anything for you to buy. I mean, that's completely different. But if you make an appointment and you're like, hey, I want to buy a few bits and pieces, they bring out things for you to buy, and then you're like, okay, I'm not buying anymore, you're a time waster and they're tired. I do think that these luxury brands are absolutely using absolutely the appointments to kind of get rid of people who are time wasting, and that's really their thing right now. And some of us, I know that we might be like, okay, well, I think that's harsh, they shouldn't be doing that, it's really unfair. that they're doing that. I can't blame them for making a business decision, and if they think it's the right business decision, that's what they should do. I would love to know what you think about all of these dragging stories that I shared. Do you like these videos? Yes or no? Make sure you drop me some comments below, and yeah, make sure that you tell me. Don't forget to join the Facebook group. Follow me on TikTok. I posted a TikTok as well, so go check out my TikTok. And also follow my luxury Instagram. I would love to hear from you guys. I've got a video coming tomorrow as well, which is the final episode of the Bait series. So I hope that you guys like that. You guys, people need to be respectful. Be respectful. If you want a beautiful luxury experience, please do not go into a luxury boutique if you're not willing to spend money. Okay? A luxury boutique is not the same as any other shop, and this is an unpopular opinion. If you go into Zara, okay, or H&M, of course you can have a look around and not buy anything, because like eventually they know you're going to come back and buy something, just because the price points are, you know, so affordable. But with luxury it's completely different. You should only really be going into luxury boutiques to buy things. If you want to window shop, use the website to have a look around. You don't need to go and waste the essay's time if you're not buying anything. I think Chanel Bond Street's kind of approach is a bit harsh, to be like, are you buying? Are you buying? Okay, that's a bit harsh, but I don't blame them, because there's so many time wasters. If you have a business, like a retail business, a consumer facing business, you will empathize with Big C, honey. I feel for them, because there are so many time-wasting people. There's so many people, whether it's a luxury business or it's a sort of standard business that targets other people, there's so many people that love to waste people's time. So I just had to do this bonus video today, because some of these stories are absolutely hysterical. I would love to know what you think, and even more, I would love to just get your feedback on my videos at the moment, if you've been liking them. I have so many other great videos coming. I'm so excited. So yeah, make sure you follow me on all of my socials, and yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow in my next video.